Ink. A single drop. A veritable universe of ideas. A tiny seed that holds in its clasp a million thoughts. Splashed across a blank piece of paper like a free bird, soaring across the great blue sky. A riot of colors oozing over the canvas, painting emotions of every hue. Weaving a silken web of poetry and literature. Composing a raging symphony of sagas and folklore. Ink, a black palette of vibrant colors. A chronicle of the Indian publishing industry. The story of a journey. Ever since man lived in the forests and mountains, roaming with Mother Nature, having a conversation with the elements, there was an innate desire to record his thoughts. An intense need to express and share knowledge. Observations were rooted in memory and passed on through speech. A concept known widely as the Gurukul Parampara. A tradition of the revered student-teacher relationship. As social structures evolved, written language gained prominence. Ancient knowledge was preserved within the folds of leaves and tree bark. The seed of modern publishing was implanted. With changing times, the printed word became a powerful tool of expression. A force that drilled its presence in the intellectual conscience. Knowledge was associated with words on paper. It was the dawn of the 20th century. India was struggling to cast away the yoke of colonial rule when the power of print roared in its fiery fury.
Anandabhaja Patrika, the flagship newspaper, first appeared in 1922. It was a day of Holi on March 13th as evening daily. And it was printed in red ink as a voice of protest against the British rule.
The year was 1913. The renowned poet W.B. Yeats was mesmerized by an Indian's writing. An innocuous but talented man won the Nobel Prize for Literature that year. Rabindranath Tagore. It was a moment of pride and glory for every Indian. A new path had opened up. The Indian publishing industry has come a long way since the days of red ink. Today the industry stands tall and majestic in the world. Statistics have proven that India has a powerful presence in the global publishing sector. It is counted among the top names with numbers to match its enormity. These mind-boggling numbers rest on the shoulders of the stalwarts that comprise this gigantic market. The publishing houses that have been at the forefront of change. A change that enabled the disorganized sector to become more definite, more structured and more accessible. The need for professionalism in publication has enabled players to reach unprecedented heights.
Indian publishing industry is a beacon of success in an industry which is globally seeing a decline. And this it does because of the fact that it's been renewing and innovating continuously.
The Indian print media industry grew by 7.6% to reach 172.6 billion rupees in 2008 and is projected to grow at a CAGR of 9% over the next 5 years, reach around rupees 266 billion in size by 2013.
The Indian publishing industry has been doing rather well, I would say, over the past few years, and also because of the profile of the country. and the profile of the publishing industry, that you have a lot of interest from all over the world in Indian publishing.
The most important achievement of the Indian publishing industry is that it has been able to uphold the freedom of expression that it has been guaranteed by the Constitution. That, I think, is the most important thing. And then secondly, it has always grappled with the times, the changing times, and the changing needs of the readers.
The first Prime Minister of India, an accomplished writer himself, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, established the National Book Trust and was the first president of Sahitya Academy, an organization that seeks to promote Indian literature in myriad Indian languages.
He declared that the president of the Sahitya Academy will not have to explain anything to the Prime Minister of our country. But as president of Sahitya Academy, he was free to do anything, not to explain or give any reason to the Prime Minister.
Jawaharlal Nehru asked us in 1957 to promote a reading habit and to publish good books, and I think we are trying to do that.
Mahatma Gandhi established the Navajivan Trust to create public opinion. Writers from the myriad regions of India, carrying their little nuggets of literary gems, acquired a voice, a platform to launch their creative careers.
The business is on the writings of the writers. So a popular writer actually makes the industry affluent or developed.
First of all, a journalist disseminates information, informs people. Secondly, a journalist brings out the background of different reports, news reports, stories, in terms of analysis, in terms of investigative reporting. And thirdly, in today's scenario, in the print media in particular, a journalist is supposed to not just inform but also educate the readers in terms of analyzing the entire gamut of the news.
I have around 100 books, of which about 15 are translations of poetry from world over, and about 20 collections of my own poetry, and then books of criticism in Malayalam and also in English. I have 5 books in English, and my books have been translated into about 23 languages, including German, French, Italian, Arabic, and all the major languages of India.
A wide array of genres exist in the Indian market, ranging from novels, children's books, encyclopedias, biographies, spiritual and self-help, literature, poetry, and the biggest segment, educational books. This particular segment has reported a growth of 20% per annum, the highest rate anywhere in the world.
जैसे जैसे एजुकेशन बढ़ी है, स्कूल एजुकेशन, कॉलेज एजुकेशन, यूनिवर्सिटी एजुकेशन बढ़ी है, उस हिसाब से किताबों की फ्लरिश हो रही हैं, पब्लिशर्स भी बढ़े हैं.
Indian people are becoming more literate. The second thing is that people are becoming more conscious of reading books.
हमारे देश की विद्याओं का, प्राच्य विद्याओं का की जो मांग है वो विदेशों में काफ़ी है.
We have got more than 8,000 titles. Essentially all the writings of Gandhi, the collected works of Mahatma Gandhi, speeches and writings of the great leaders of India, culture, history, land and people. These are the main areas in which we have been working.
हमारे यहाँ किताबों की इतनी वैरायटी है, चाहे वो टेक्स्ट हो. इस वक्त अरेबियन गल्फ में और फिजी कंट्री में मैं कह सकता हूँ कि हमारे यहाँ एक कृष्ण सुदामा किताब छपती है, वो वहाँ टेक्स्ट बुक लगी हुई है. ऐसे बहुत सारे टेक्स्ट बुक के पब्लिशर हैं जिनकी किताबें फॉरेन के अंदर, मतलब सारे विदेशों के अंदर जो है हमारे देश की किताबें टेक्स्ट बुक लगी हुई हैं.
We have the Nehru Bal Pustakalay, which is a very popular series for children of different age groups, and we have various other series which are for the young adults to all age groups, and these series are on various topics. Like we have a very popular series on science called the Popular Science series. We have the Popular Social Science series. We have the Indian Literature series. We have the Adan Pradan series, which is a very unique series because we translate books from one Indian language into the other.
Among children's books, Amar Chitra Katha has a loyal readership since 1967. Their graphic novels have introduced generations of Indians to the literary heritage of India. World-class storytelling has made each volume a collector's item.
ये जो स्टोरी अभी मैं फ़िलहाल कर रही हूँ, इसमें यह है तंत्री। ये राजा का मंत्री है, लेकिन ये थोड़ा दुष्ट नहीं कह सकते, लेकिन वो हमेशा ये सोचता है कि मैं राजा कैसे बनूँ। उसका स्वभाव थोड़ा दुष्ट ही बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन थोड़ा चिड़चिड़ा है। तो इसलिए मैंने ये कैरेक्टर थोड़ा सा पतला सा और लंबा बनाया है। और राजा जो है वो एकदम खुशमिसाल और एकदम हंसी मजाक करने वाला और कभी सबका अच्छा ही सोचने वाला है। तो उसको मैंने थोड़ा फैट और शॉर्ट बनाया है, ताकि उन दोनों में भी मज़ा आए थोड़ा बच्चों को देखते वक्त।
You know, the editors come up with new ideas, the writers and editors, what are the new people, for example, we should create an Amar Chitra Katha about. Then an artist is selected and a writer is selected who will essentially create the panels and the 32 pages. There's a 32-page format that we have worked for years. And then black and white versions are made, and art is approved, and then the colored version is made, and then it goes to print.
The Government of India and various professional bodies have installed a process of recognizing the work of writers with prestigious awards. A high level of motivation runs through authors to be acknowledged and appreciated amongst peers and readers.
There are regional awards from the state. There are national awards. The regional awards are called Rabindra Puraskar, Bankim Puraskar, Sharat Puraskar, Vidyasagar Puraskar. I think I got them all. And national award, Sahitya Academy Award, is supposed to be the very prestigious award that I got many years ago. And there are two awards which, in terms of money, are the greatest awards in our country. That is, one is Gyanpith, another is Saraswati Samman.
Indian writing is now available not only in English, but in other Indian languages as well. Writers of Hindi, Punjabi, Bangla, Marathi, Gujarati, Malayalam, Tamil, Kannada, and other languages enjoy the readership and recognition of vast number of Indians.
India has so many languages, and we are trying to get translations from one language to another language, and meeting writers from one language to other languages. For instance, a poet who is writing in Assam or in Nagaland, he never meets a writer of Maharashtra or Gujarat, but Sahitya Academy is doing this role to bring closer of these writers.
First of all, India is a hugely diverse country with a number of very important languages, important in terms of both readership and in terms of the depth of analysis in which the languages cater to people. And also because of the very diversity of India and India's culture and economy, there are a number of ways in which the publishing industry can grow in a number of areas. So it's the very diversity which provides this industry lots of new innovations to experiment with.
The readers cut across socio-economic categories and town classes. On the one end of the spectrum are the cream de la cream of the metros. On the other hand are those in semi-urban and rural markets who are not even literate. Newspapers are often read out to these people by their friends and family members. Such is the diversity of reach which goes beyond the readership.
मराठी में अभी बहुत सारे मराठी पब्लिशर आ रहे हैं। पहले जो सिटी में पब्लिशर थे, अभी जो प्रिंटिंग व्यवसाय जो है वो बहुत बढ़ गया है और भी प्रिंटिंग अभी बहुत आसान हो गया है। इस वजह से अभी छोटे छोटे गाँव में तालुका जिला तालुका पातली से भी पब्लिशर बन रहे हैं और बहुत सारी किताबें निकल रही है। पब्लिशर बढ़ने के कारण नए नए सब्जेक्ट जो है अभी मराठी में बहुत आने लगे हैं, जैसे अंतराल है, ज्योतिष है, वास्तुशास्त्र है, जो पहले सब्जेक्ट ने अभी ड्राइंग के ऊपर भी बहुत सारी किताबें आ रही है। और जो पहले और एक मराठी में है जो पहले जो किताबें छपाई गई थी, जैसे जिसको क्लासिक बोलते, उस क्लासिक का अभी तक डिमांड चालू रहता है।
अभी मिनिमम सब पब्लिशर के मिल के गुजराती में करीबन 5000 टाइटल ईयरली पब्लिश होते होंगे। सब डिफरेंट ऑथर, डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट, डिफरेंट टॉपिक, सब मतलब जो भी कोई ऐसा टॉपिक नहीं है जिसमें गुजराती पब्लिकेशंस नहीं है। साइंस से लेके आप कौन सा भी कंप्यूटर से लेके कौन सी भी टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज में भी आपको चाहिए गुजराती पब्लिकेशन किसको भी तो उसमें मिल सकता है, अवेलेबल है.
The industry's turnover in national and international sales has increased tenfold in the last 20 years. With rising success came recognition and international affiliations for the industry. Invitations to international events as guests of honor have now become a norm.
We have been doing guest of honor programs in some countries like Frankfurt in Germany, London, Moscow, while there have been demands from various other countries. We have also facilitated rights exchange in various languages, not only from our own publications, but we tried to act as a nodal agency and put publishers in touch on the Indian and the foreign side.
The print industry is the back-end support of publishing. In the world market, it is ranked in the top 10. In India, it has been one of the fastest and largest growing sectors in the last decade. An approximate 1.3 million people are employed in 150,000 printing presses. Starting from the primitive days of the letterpress, printing technology has come a long way. Digital printing and processors, efficient handling of the digital workflow and flexibility of print finishing techniques have made the operating environment world-class. Faster production and consistent high quality has lured publishers from other countries to India.
German, Spanish, French, and the publishers send these books to us for printing. They go back to them after being printed.
A well-defined process sees a publication from ideation to the printed form. A team of qualified professionals work feverishly at their desks to get the creative work ready for printing. Meticulous editing and re-editing ensures that the content is of the highest quality. Large and advanced printing presses carry out the process in a smooth flow. After printing, the publication is then bound and packed, ready to be stored and transported all over the world in the hands of eager readers. India is huge in terms of languages, readers, writers and publishers. The sheer variety and volume of the current market scenario is unmatched. Foreign investors are eyeing the Indian market as a great business opportunity. The unexplored and projected potential of the industry promises growth at an exponential rate.
Opportunities for foreign investment in publishing in India is very great in several aspects. It's not only a question of publishing books for India, it's not only a question of importing books into India, it's also a question of doing a lot of the technology which goes behind the preparation of the book or even the electronic versions of the books, because India is the market leader in creating electronic content and also digitizing books. So the digital origination, which now last year I think was about $2 billion worth of to India. That is a huge plus.
Foreign investments in India is a great opportunity, and it is a well-known fact that India is one of the largest English-speaking countries in the world, and we also speak other languages like German, Dutch, and so many others. So we are a country which has educated resource which is necessary for the development of a publishing kind of a business. So India has a lot to offer to its national publishers, and not only does it offer a ready-made market, it also offers a lot of opportunities for global companies to relocate their back office operations in India.
If you look at the basic numbers in India, for example, in kids there are 350 million plus children below the age of 14 in India, right? That's larger than the population of the United States or Europe. So it's natural that investors are looking at India as the next growth thing. Second, if you compare India to other large markets like China, India is a much more open investment environment. In magazines, 100% FDI is allowed. In most of the sectors, other than news reporting, foreign investments are allowed.
There are two reasons. One is the leadership, the huge leadership of India, and particularly the substantial numbers of educated readers that India can provide them. And secondly, of course, the advertisement, the marketing, the business model scenarios.
It is a multi-billion dollar market. So when the foreign company looks at this market, there are two aspects. One is that it can outsource many of its processes from their country to use the available resources in India, and secondly, they can also partner with many of the publishing houses in India so that the knowledge base, the content base that India has can be taken to those countries.
Technology what we used to have earlier, in the past 5-6 years, we are actually seeing a sea change in the technology what we used to have earlier and what we are having right now. And with this kind of technology and a graduation from the skill based to a process and system oriented organizations, and with a good control over the cost structure, I think most of the investors would like to come to India because of the cost effectiveness and a good quality, which is of course being derived from this transition of the technology.
Indians love to read. The literacy rate has gone up to 65% from 18% at the time of independence. The need to have a rich literary experience is evident from the way books are sold. Bookshops now look at readers from a different perspective. Customers have now become clients. From a clinical, over-the-counter approach, these shops now offer a more engaging and open ambience to their patrons. The bookshop is now an interaction platform for authors and readers. Various national and international book fairs are held to keep the reading population satiated and updated with the latest ideas in print. These fairs provide the ideal opportunity for publishers to put up their titles for enthusiasts. The readers, on the other hand, can browse through a large number of books by different publishers under the same roof.
पहले तो 2-4 प्रकाशक होते थे, आज ये पूरा पुस्तक मेला लगा हुआ है, एक से एक बढ़कर नए-नए नाम आ रहे हैं, नए-नए प्रकाशन आ रहे हैं।
पिछले 4 दिन से मैं इस बात को प्रूव कर सकता हूँ कि जिस लोकेशन पे हम किताबें बेच रहे हैं, बच्चों का और पेरेंट्स का सभी का रुझान इसमें है। हम 1.5 लाख की सेल 3 दिन में कर चुके हैं और इंडस्ट्री जो है, बुक इंडस्ट्री जो है, डे बाय डे राइज ही कर रही है, क्योंकि जब किताबों की सेल बढ़ रही है तो इसका मतलब है कि उद्योग तरक्की कर रहा है।
If you look at India, it has got all kinds of publications. You can see this in this publishing mela that we have. If you go to any book fair, you will find from Jyotish to astronomy to medical science to history to computers. I don't think there is any aspect that is left out of the publishing arena. And the more smaller, especially the smaller publishing houses which are coming up on the strength of the individual initiative.
Our major objective is to popularize books and book publishing in India. Therefore, our book fairs are mainly held in India, and we have now nearly 18 or 19 book fairs in India. We call one national book fair and the other 18 fairs are in other states. We cover nearly every state.
With changing times, the format of communication has changed. The advent of the digital age has made it possible for publishers to explore the option of digitizing their publications.
Proliferation of electronic media and the internet is a very interesting topic, and in one way it has impacted the publishing industry, whereby it is bringing about modernization. It is probably putting pressure on publishers to change the way that they have been publishing in the past, adapt new technologies, and bring about positive change, I guess. You know, that I don't think we should view it from a negative perspective, but I think this is what is happening in the world. And internet is an indication as to how the academic students or the general public of the future want to source information.
If you can buy one e-book and and copy it to 1,000 students, and that kills our market for our normal books. So that is one of the effects that we have to look at. We look at that situation with a forward outlook.
Printed text is now being morphed into animated features and mobile short films.
bring back your husband.
There is an undercurrent of innovative ideas waiting to break surface. A goldmine of new concepts about to be unearthed. Better education and better lifestyle have brought in its wake a new breed of writers and readers. The industry is a restless creature poised to soar. The future holds great opportunities, and it's coming closer. The quill that holds a drop of ink holds in its confines a world of potential. A beast unleashed on the imagination of millions. Books have carried knowledge through time, influencing minds over centuries, ringing in a civilized society. In our hands lie the seeds of future. In our vision, the light of hope. Let's enter into the light of progress and glory.